Hi, David. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you. Thanks for joining me today for our Cimpress Talks series. To those who are new to the series, I would like to take a few seconds to briefly tell them about it. So, the series is about holding meaningful yet candid conversations with leaders revolving around the subjects such as leadership, organizational culture, technology, and design. Today, we will be talking about innovation using machine learning with the product mindset. But before we start our conversation, David, can you quickly introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. I'm David Greenberg. I've been working with Cimpress for about 9 years now. I started back when it was Vistaprint. I work in the team that does artwork processing. I'm mostly working with images and PDFs, doing pre-press processing, image processing, and visualization.
All right, so let's begin the conversation. So, one of the keywords of our topic is product mindset. Would you like to explain what having a product based mindset really means?
Sure, and it's a very general term in technology these days that really just means thinking about the customer, thinking about the vision of what you're building and how it's going to bring value over time.
Okay. So, we at Cimpress invest heavily in artwork innovation, particularly using machine learning. So, would you like to tell our audience more about it, like what exactly and how we do that?
Sure, yeah. So we invest in artwork processing and machine learning for a variety of applications. Those applications include various computer vision functionality, or things like knocking out backgrounds, vectorizing artwork, sharpening artwork. These are all utilities that exist out publicly for from different companies,
Right.
but we develop our own implementations of these either because we need different types of results, or we need it to run faster, or less expense associated with it. Um, so we have a team of scientists and engineers who work together to develop these capabilities, and they're actively working on lots of different projects at any time.
Okay. So, David, as we see today, technology is everywhere. Everyone is exploring new technologies every now and then to transform their businesses. What is your take on exercising the degree of freedom to explore a new technology? And do you see any conflicts there?
Sure, that's a great question. It applies to engineers, it applies to scientists, and businesses, of course. So new technologies are coming out every day, and it's often very exciting to jump into one of these new technologies. And that's always encouraged. We want people to know what's out there, understand the landscape, and use the tools that make sense. Now, one thing that you always find is it's a bit of a risk, because you could invest heavily in a new technology that doesn't take hold. And if you do that, then you end up either needing to switch to a different technology, or you sort of get stuck in this world that is not the standard world anymore. And we see this all the time with software in general. Anyone who jumped on, everyone picks on Fortran, right? Everyone says, oh, that's a dead language, even though I think it's actually still in wide use by a lot of people. Not really at Cimpress, but probably at other places. So yes, there's always a risk with new technology, but without any risk, there generally isn't much reward. So, we balance it. We say, please explore the new technologies, try them out, but maybe we'll stop short of investing heavily in those new technologies, or in a way that locks us into those until they are proven and well established.
Right. So nothing comes without a risk, but balancing is the key here. Okay. So, according to you, what kind of things should one keep in mind while they're experimenting with the new technology?
Yeah, so again, that risk is really important, but then we also want people to actually explore. So when new technology comes out, or just a new paper, so we have a lot of scientific papers that we read to figure out what is possible. And that exploration requires an open mind. So if I'm researching, and I actually generally don't do a lot of that research myself, but if somebody is researching and something new or a new technique, a new technology, and they realize that this actually could apply really well in a logistics application, that's great. Let's use that knowledge and learning. So one of the main things that we talk about in the machine learning side is we're not developing functionality. We're proving hypotheses. And what that really means is our outcome is learning. So that's really important when we talk about exploring new technologies. The outcome here is the knowledge that we get from the exploration. After we have that knowledge, we do have to still apply it through various scientific research and engineering application. But the first step is to explore so that we have something to develop, have some hypothesis that is proven that we now can apply in a business context.
Right. So lastly, do you think it's important to have an alliance of product-based and innovative mindset if one wants to make the most out of any new technology?
Cool. Yeah, that goes directly to that last point. It's great to enjoy this freedom to explore and innovate. And that's really key. You cannot do anything new unless you have that freedom to say, this is really cool, even though I don't know what it's going to be used for, and really focus on that learning as the outcome. But then we're spending lots of money in time and resources to gain that learning. So how do we take that investment and actually apply it to a business value, which is where that product mindset comes in. And business value isn't just about making revenue, it's about understanding what does the customer need? What are those potential applications for that new learning that we just got from the exploration? So this requires a real balance. And one of the things that we are always looking out for is how do we make sure the people doing the research understand the customers? And how do we make sure that the people interacting with customers, understanding the customers, understand that research that's being done? So we have a very close relationship between product management and engineering in general. And specifically in this area, you find people are very closely interacting in order to share that understanding.
Right. Okay, so thank you, David, for taking out time for this conversation. I really hope that it would prove helpful to our audience outside. And to our audience, I would really like to thank them as well for watching this. We'll soon be back with another interesting topic. Thanks again.
Thank you.